Medium Theresa Caputo connects with Natalie Wood. With her blonde locks teased to the moon, and that oh-so-familiar New York sass, Long Island medium Theresa Caputo returns to TV in the new Lifetime unscripted series, Theresa Caputo. Raising Spirits beginning Thursday, January 25 at 9/8C. The famed medium catches fans up with her current life, while delivering unforgettable connections to people who have lost a loved one. Caputo was first introduced to audiences in her hit TLC series, Long Island Medium, which ran for 14 seasons. She opens her life to camera crews once again, where they follow her home life. She's a grandma now, divorced from Larry and traveling the world to connect departed souls with loved ones, still struggling with burden and grief. Even though I've been on TV for 10 years, touring for over 10 years, traveling the country for over 10 years, and then have taken my live show to the UK, I still just loving doing what I've always done, she tells us. And that's going to people's homes, doing private readings, group readings, doing readings in my home, surprising people with readings. It kind of feels like life is back to normal, you might say. If I go to Target, it's not only taking me a half hour, I'm like there 3 hours, she laughs. A lot of times people don't want to bother you. They just want to say hi and maybe share a quick story on how watching the TV show or attending one of my live shows, even just reading one of my books has changed their life and helped them in the healing process and restoring their faith, she shares. What I do is so much more than just communicating with people that have died. It has reunited families back together who haven't spoken in years and sometimes even decades. It restores our faith, whatever faith that is. Maybe it is a religion, or maybe it's just faith in ourselves, faith in our family and our lives, knowing that we really do deserve to embrace life, and knowing that our loved ones want that for us, and that they are living this life through our eyes. The best way to describe it is similar to the sixth sense, because that's how I grew up as a child. I would see things, sense things, but I thought everyone did. And then I was like, okay, you didn't see that. You didn't know that, she explains. And Ghost with Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg. It's the same way how Whoopi Goldberg would be like, I don't understand that. Why are you telling me to sit? It's the same thing for me, how she would just feel and sense things, but not necessarily always say something. So those are the two movies that best describes on how I connect with spirits. It's not like souls come through and it's like, hey, it's me, Elvis. But I remember I was performing in a theater in Santa Barbara, and I kept hearing this knocking on my door. Someone was knocking on my dressing room door, and I went to the door, and I would ask the security out there, did you need something or was someone looking for me? And they're like, no, nobody was here. And then I was brought through a tragedy of a drowning in a boat. I was telling my tour manager and I was like, oh, this weird thing is happening. I'm like, I keep getting this. And he's like, it's Natalie Wood. Like we're right where she died. Apparently, where the theater was. So that's what I mean by I don't know certain things, or you don't think of that. I find that odd that you asked me about that, Theresa concludes. I'm a very honest person, and I shared that with you. I think just my crew knows about that. My live crew. Yeah, that's why I said, are you psychic? Well, I'm glad I'm not psychic, but I sure wish Natalie Wood would have shared her story on what happened on that boat in November 1981, while she was out with husband Robert Wagner and friend Christopher Walken.